A little bit lower. Okay, I think that's gonna have to work. All right, good evening, everyone. Good evening. How's everyone this evening? All right. I didn't go my target today. All right, first thing, I want to remind all officials.
Turn that down.
Wow. To move to the center section, please. And while we're doing that, can I have everybody stand, please? Everybody stand. All basketball officials move to the center section.
I ain't gonna get it.
As we know, yesterday was September the 11th.
I ain't gonna get it.
And there were a number of ceremonies yesterday commemorating the 10th anniversary of September 11th. So the first thing I'd like to do tonight is we want to take a moment of silence in memory of everyone who perished from September 11th, 2001. Thank you. Thank you very much. Everybody have a seat. I appreciate it. Did everyone have a good holiday last weekend? Yes. Did anybody miss being here? Yes. Exactly. Tonight we are going to we have a special guest in the house who is going to speak to the group. And then we're going to do something a little bit different tonight that I think everyone's going to enjoy. It's going to be informative, educational, and it's going to be a lot of fun at the same time. And we'll have some of the competition tonight. And yes, there are prizes involved with this competition. So yes, you will be competing in something. First, we're going to do a couple of quick announcements real quick. Good. We are Mitchell Owen, real quick, how are we doing on the training on Saturday?
We're doing really good. Training on Saturdays has been good. Last Saturday we picked back up with our following next 5 weeks, so we're over halfway through with our training, and so good things are coming.
What's up, Ryan?
Good. Now, like we announced last in our previous meeting, the training sessions for beginning and intermediate have closed, so that any officials who would fall within that range of experience, unfortunately, can't get in at this point in time. But there's another avenue that will be available to brand new officials, intermediate officials, when the metro division starts their meeting. So there will be training available for anyone who's interested. Anyone who aspires to work toward the varsity level, we're continuing to accept anyone who wants to come participate in our advanced training, or if you're inspired for college level in the IRAD training. And the reason why those sessions are still open is because that level of officiating should have a higher, should have more capability. The learning curve should be a lot shorter. You should be able to pick it up pretty quick. You should be able to step right in and work if you're inspired with that level. Because then if you can't, and that's also an indication that you're probably in the wrong class. Okay? So that's, as far as training goes, that's what we have announced tonight. We have a couple other things we'd like to discuss with the group as a whole. Is that this year we do have our biannual election for office. So as paid members, you can make nominations for each office that's available: president, vice president, treasurer, and secretary. And we're going to collect the nominations for the next, I believe it's the next 2 weeks. Is that correct, Ms.? He's in a deep conversation with SARS right now. We're going to collect nominations where you can either write them on a card and leave them here with us, or you can go to our website and submit the nominations there, or go to TOA's email address and submit the nomination, and we will collect them. And then I believe it's September the 26th, we're going to announce the nominations for everyone. That's when they'll close. And then on October 3rd, we're going to actually have elections. We're going to elect the officers for a Tinker Officials Association. Then the following Monday is the state meeting, so we won't be meeting. And then the last meeting will be the 17th, when we will actually announce the officers, and we will present the officers to the group as a whole. Okay? If someone cannot be available on the 3rd when we vote, correct me if I'm wrong, we are going to allow absentee voting. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, good. So if you're not here, go to the website. You can go ahead and vote, and we will be able to tally your votes also. All right. The other announcement I have to make is that we also need to revise our bylaws for Tinker Officials Association. We feel a need to bring them up to date, current, and make them more dynamic as to the things that we're dealing with today now. We haven't made any adjustments in the last, 3 to 4 years, I believe. So we're looking for some volunteers who'd be willing to work on the bylaw committee to review them, take a look at them, and make suggestions on any changes that they believe that could be implemented for TOA. We'll take those suggestions, then we will vote them as an executive board, and then we will go and add them to the bylaws. So we're trying to keep it as current as possible. So we're looking at for 3 to 4 people to volunteer to be willing to go over the bylaws. The bylaws are available on our website, like everything else. Go to our website, pull it up, and you can look at them. You can make suggestions. I take all suggestions. I might not follow them, but I take them, I listen to them, all right? And then we'll decide, we'll vote on them, decide what's happening, and we'll have it. If it was your suggestion, we'll put your little name next to it, so everybody will know. All right, any questions about the bylaw committee request? Cool. Just out of curiosity, does anyone have any questions about anything we covered in our first 3 meetings? Someone had called me and had a question about something specific, and kind of gave suggestions that might be more questions out there. So I just want to throw it open to the group. If there's any questions about anything, feel free to ask it at any time. Yes, sir.
Are we looking for volunteers tonight for the bylaws committee?
Oh, yeah.
Yes. So does anybody, so who do you want them to see? Mitch or TC or C. Bill? Okay.
Either one.
Me, or else I'm a volunteer here.
All right.
Yeah, let's talk to Bill Stokes, please, if you don't mind.
I'm telling you, this is very important. If I don't get 3 or 4 volunteers, I spend a lot of time in the military. I know how to sign people to do stuff. It's very beneficial. I see one hand right there. We'll get together today when we're going to meet. It's not going to be long. It's not going to be drawn out. It's going to be a very simple process. We just need folks other than the executive committee to do these things. You folks sit here every year in the same places, and you can help us out, Jeanette.
Hey, there we go.
Robert, Jeanette, Derek, and Rachel. All right, I got 4. Thank you.
Yes.
And Lydia.
No. I have a kid. What night?
I have kids.
Well, I'm the mother.
We won't even go there.
Well, the bottom line is we're constantly looking for new ideas, new directions, new input from everything. That's the only way to keep us growing and moving in a positive direction. And it helps us to get an idea of what's really going through everyone's mind. Because believe it or not, we don't know everything. It's hard to believe that, but it's true. So we're open for suggestions. Anything you guys may have, let us know. Drop us a line. Trust me, we will consider it. At this point in time, look at it. At this point in time, I would like to bring a special guest.
We got a question.
I really wouldn't want to do it, but I had a question.
Okay.
I'll do it. I'm down for it.
Yes, sir.
Did you get video of that Euro suit? Because I don't think you were showing it.
Yes, I believe we do have it. Oh, no, almost forgot. We do have it, and I'll show it before we leave. Okay. And that's a very, very good question because everyone needs to see it, so everyone can familiar with this. Now, at this point in time, before I go to our special guest, because I almost forgot, thank you, TC, for reminding me. We have a gift for all of our paid members. If you're a paid member to TOA, if you can please stand, we have something for you. There you go. Right, there we go.
Let me help that sells out.
Yes, I think you should check it.
Give Marcus a stack.
I'm just coming down here to see who's not standing. I want to see who's not standing. I know he's new, he's just here. I like this. Everybody stand. Out there, Rich, you know you got some money. That's why I'm out here.
Hey, I don't know. She might be on drugs again, so you better call her.
Where Steelers say, I'm let them Ravens and what knock it out.
Unfortunately, he is paid.
I would like to bring to the stage a gentleman who has been gracious to come in and speak with us tonight to share his wealth and depth of experience. And more importantly, he actually does a lot of hiring.
That's my brother right there, man. You know I got to get him.
He's been a strong, very strong, consistent, strong supporter of TOA. He has a working partnership with us. And a lot of you already know him. You've already seen him. You see him on Saturdays. You see him on Sundays. You look up, literally, you look up and he's there. Okay? So at this point in time, I'd like to bring to the stage the Commissioner of the Metro Conference, Mr. Bob O'Neill.
Hey.
Really on?
We get it turned up.
Gotta turn it up.
It's on.
It's on.
It's on.
Okay. I like it. How's everybody doing? All right. I'll give my words of wisdom in line here. It's always fun to visit with fellow officials. I am involved with assigning for a number of high schools, a couple of Bible colleges,
Oh, it's on.
and on our website, our staff also takes care of a number of sub-varsity venues for some of the 15 high schools. We've also been fortunate enough to pick up varsity tournaments in other cities. We've been asked to help some in the northeastern part of the state. So apparently what is going on is being talked about in a positive way. A big part of the reason it's being talked about in a positive way, the people in the blue shirts that you see in this room, the time that they give. And even the gentleman sitting back there trying to be incognito without his blue shirt on, he's been a big part of it also. In fact, there was one night, maybe a couple years ago, Marcus started talking about an AA meeting. He got everybody's attention. And his AA meeting was that in order to be a good official, we have to learn how to adapt and adjust. And there's way too many of us that haven't learned that yet. It's an ongoing process from the first-year beginner officials that are in training on Saturday mornings to the people that are at the IREF sessions that have a desire for college basketball. Along with the craziness of the signing, I'm also on the college men's basketball floor just a couple times a month. As in, yeah, right. officiating is an avocation that is a business. And I want it to be understood up front that anything and everything that goes on with our office, and I say our office, it's not me, it's a group of us, it's like by committee. I totally rely on a number of people that I respect, what they are about as a person, what they're about on the floor, off the floor. And there's people that are on our staff that, to be honest, I've never seen them referee a game in my life. But somebody thought enough of them and their skills to put in good work. That can also work in the opposite direction. There have been people that have been let go for unprofessionalism, not taking care of off-court business. We'll talk about that some more. Anybody that's been on our staff, you may get a love note at 3, 4 in the morning. I may have just gotten home from a little ride after a game. Something came on my mind, so I'll send you a little love note before the sun comes up. You never know. We're always looking for quality people, but also quality officials. We don't, and just because somebody has been around for 20 years officiating, do you have 20 years experience, or do you have 2 years experience 10 times over? Are you any better now than you were last year, 5 years ago, 10 years ago? Think about that, some of you. Kind of a scary thought. So far, since the end of last basketball season, there have been 8 people added to our staff. Some varsity, some sub-varsity. We have seen those people at summer clinics, camps, whatever you want to call them. There have been people that have already been added during training that started back in August. In fact, one of those was added, and I've never seen a referee before. That didn't make any difference from what people had told me about her last year and what I've seen on Saturdays already this year. In order to achieve your goals, you have to work at it. There'll be scrimmages, summer stuff, training on Saturdays, training on Sundays, meetings on Mondays, Wednesdays, whatever it is. If you don't have the desire to get better, and to be honest, take somebody's games, there's only so many that are on our website. There's not going to be any more once the schedules are all filled in. So it boils down to, it's the responsibility of myself and the ones that I look for input. It's our responsibility to put the best available officials on the floor for every game. Whether it's the finals of a tournament, or if it's the first round game of the 7th grade tournament, you come. And we are being approached by additional schools at a number of different levels because they're hearing about how good you are, to be quite honest. Last year, our high school varsity staff of 61, 47 of those are also on at least one college staff. Let's see somebody match that. I don't think they can. That's where they're going to be. And then there's even some of those that aren't on a college staff that are on our Bible college staff. We also work for Hillsdale Baptist College and Southwestern Christian University in Bethany. So the opportunities are there to go from the beginning training class, where you're taught how to stick that hand up, blow the whistle same time. Hopefully it's the right hand and the fist and all that stuff, to your first time on the floor, maybe an elementary game. There's people, there's a couple in this room that have come through the training, have desired to go to college clinics during the summer, and I can name a good half dozen easy. First time they went to a college camp, they were hired. Not too bad. Somebody's doing something right. Fun story, 3 summers ago, there's a young lady, first college camp she ever went to. I'm standing next to the boss. He said, "Don't beat." And the high girl just comes off the floor. He's only been working varsity basketball 1 year. I wouldn't tell him that. I'll be darned. She starts going off the floor. He goes out, puts his arm around her. She got passed out. She didn't know whether to jump up and down, cry. That was fun. What a T-Row. Alan and Wayne were getting ready to walk off, and I went over and I said, "Boys," I said, "don't leave yet. We're going to have some fun." So we all got to see that official get hired when she walked off the floor. She talked about it, she'll still tear up, crumble, and all that kind of stuff. So that's fun. That's fun. Officiating is no longer a 3-month season. Everybody got that figured out? If you don't, you better do something else. It's not 3 months anymore. I mean, there's people in this room, some of them I haven't seen since last February. Some we see during the summer, some are in training. Some have gotten hired in college staffs during the summer, and they're still in that Saturday training. They want to get better. They want to get better to take my games. I like to get them fired first, but they want to get better to take my games. I mean, so it's what it's about. Yeah, and the people that are willing to give of their time and effort and knowledge, these people in the blue shirts, Marcus, Jeff Connor, veteran official, blue shirt, they're all color blue, by the way. You didn't get the memo. But I mean, it's amazing the opportunity that you'll have. It really is. I mean, there's a number of us that are involved in camps in other states during the summer, and the bosses that do the hiring and firing, they can tell when an official is from Oklahoma City. They don't even have to look at the roster anymore. They can tell. So it's the teaching and training that's going on that's paying off. It's pretty good game chips for the ones that get hired. How do you get hired and or increase your schedule? Anybody in here not on our staff yet? There needs to be some hands up, because there are some people in there that aren't on our staff. Now, say it's even your first year on staff, you got 3 games, how do you go to 5 or 6? Well, you got to get better. Take some of Wayne's games. I mean, it's an ongoing, it's a journey. It's a marathon. How do you get fired? Excuse me, how do you get fired? Well, lack of integrity. Don't take care of off-court business. There's been people that didn't take care of off-court business, got let go. Everything worked out after that. Maybe they're back on staff, maybe they're not. It's a business. Everybody should approach it that way. People that don't adapt and adjust. Marcus's AA meeting. If you don't adapt and adjust, you're referring the same way now you did 15 years ago. Well, apparently it didn't work 5 years ago. So what makes you think it's going to work now? The boat doesn't float. Or not for our staff, it doesn't. Not for our staff. Kind of the way that we look at it for our varsity staff, kind of a 3-tier type deal. The top tier, the veteran officials, people like Wayne, Jeff, Mitch, a few of them. Those are the people that are on college staffs, state tournament officials, veterans that I respect what they have to say. Unless they say I want 12 games instead of 8, they may not have that vote. Right, Jeff?
Yes, sir.
We can do that, yeah. Then kind of this middle tier, people have been on staff, maybe 5-ish years or less, something like that. People that are on their way up, hopefully they're getting better to take some of Jeff's games, some of Wayne's games, some of Trey's games. And if you don't have that goal, that's fine. But then if you don't work to try to do that, then don't whine when it doesn't happen. Then it's your fault, not ours. The third tier, first, second year people on staff, maybe, and kind of a thing that we've come to an agreement on as the committee, whatever you want to call it, is it doesn't make any sense for somebody to get picked up on varsity staff and to get one game. That's not a barometer of your abilities. If you're not worthy of 3 or 4 games, then you're probably not going to get it. Tell the truth. Now, there are some people in this room that are starting to knock at that varsity door. They don't know yet. They're working hard. It's being noticed. Saturdays, training. There's a little spiral notebook back there in that briefcase. I have notes in there that I've taken every Saturday when I've gone. I take notes on people taking notes. People with their laptop taking notes. There's not too much that slides by me, and if it does, somebody in a blue shirt catches it. I hope. And if they don't, well, maybe you can have some of their games. I don't know. Okay, moving up is a process. The biggest thing, in my little 2 cents opinion, is communication. Whether it be with the coaches, players, our office, veteran officials. If you're not good at communicating, we need to call Houston, because we're going to have a problem. And you may not last very long unless you fix it. When we're on the floor, communication should mean conversation, not confrontation. If you get in confrontation with your partner, coach, player, that's a no-win deal. You know, so develop some good communication skills. And then make sure that you always communicate off the floor also. Whether it be via schedule, email, whatever. Should by chance something crazy happen in the game, JV game, freshman game, varsity game, you will call me on my cell phone and leave a message so I know from you before I get the phone call from the AD. Our office does not accept phone calls from coaches on Tuesday night and Friday night, period. It has to go through the athletic director with the game film, or I don't talk to them. Out of the 4 coaches, we didn't make all 4 of them happy, I'm sure, every night. Be nice if we could. But that doesn't happen, we're just human. What can I do to improve, to take somebody's games? You need to identify your strengths, identify your weaknesses. Even people in the blue shirts and myself, we should do that at the beginning of every season. What was I not that good at last year? What do I need to fix? I already know what I need to fix for me. Starting middle of October, scrimmages. I need to get better at every time the whistle blows, whether it's my whistle or Reggie's whistle. I need to look at that darn clock. How do you know what it's saying? Right, we're gonna work on that. I already know what I have to get better at. So everybody think about that. We should look the part, look athletic. It's a dog-eat-dog world now. Holy cow, especially when you start going to summer clinics, camps, college stuff. Division I camps are $600, plus your plane ticket, plus your rental car, plus food. So you better look the part when you go. You just, you know, if you're that generous with your money, come next week, bring cash. We'll call that a big order to go. We're gonna have a good time. It'd be money better spent. Video yourself. They do that at the clinics. I know TOA does it when you guys are in training. The IDC camp in Shawnee, there were 2 floors that got filmed all 3 days. No other camp does that, all 3 days. They run the crews through once, done. You get a whole lot of bang for your buck with that IDC camp. There are brand new people. There are people who came from Tulsa, Stillwater. There's one cat from Texas, from somewhere. I don't know how in the world he showed up. Cat from Texas. There were people there that had been hired at college camps already during the summer. They were at IDC to get better. Try to take some more Mitch's games. Get a mentor. Somebody that you can call, and they'll answer. Somebody that you can call to visit about stuff. You know, something squirrely that happened, or, you know, Steve, this situation happened, or maybe you were the new person on the crew, one of the veterans was a jerk, and you weren't sure how in the world to try to fix it. You need a mentor. And hopefully, as we all move up the ladder, we're all reaching back to pull somebody with us. There's a lot of people that forget that, and that's a shame. Then there's a whole bunch of people in this room that give back a ton, and then some. 14 more pages, we'll be done. A little bit about the assigning process in the way that we go about stuff. The majority of the signing will be done according to OSA's request in October, varsity stuff, so that they can get their observer assignments done. Sarge is one of the observers. Who else is observing here? So we have to have our varsity schedules in, so then the OSSAA can tell Sarge, okay, Tuesday we need you here, Friday here, yada, yada, before the season gets started. But there will be in the neighborhood of 25 to 30 varsity assignments that will not be assigned until scrimmage season is done. Here's why. There may be somebody gets hired at scrimmages. There may be a person that just moved in. We didn't know them from Joe Schmo. They moved in. They look pretty darn good. Well, they just got somebody else's games. It's our responsibility to put the best available on the floor at any given time. And the third way is possibly some of our JV sub-varsity people, and they're suddenly working hard, and they are on the radar. No joke. They're on the radar. Those people are going to be given some opportunities during scrimmage time, and we'll see what happens. Hopefully it works out good for them. If it does, Mitch, you may have to put in extra hours at work. You're going to be out of games. Part of the assigning process, the biggest thing that you have to do for us is take care of your availability on the website. If you don't, I'll fire you. Point blank, cold stone sober. If your availability calendar is not important to you, then why should it be important to any assigner? Whether it's myself, Wayne, Sarge, TC, whoever else does assignment. If it's not important to you, then why should it be important to us? Think of the message that you send if 5 assignments are sent out and you end up kicking 3 or 4 of those back because you already had something else to do. not a positive one. Right now, our website is set up that once the assignment is made, you have 7 days to accept or reject it. We get closer to the season, that'll get cut down to 2 days. And we won't have any time to be jacking around. If something crazy happens, Monday night, Vance got hurt, he's on the game Tuesday, you'll get a phone call, not just the website stuff. I mean, if we're getting down to, we're going to be in some deep trouble, we'll communicate. We're not going to have anything slip through the cracks. That's not fair to anybody. Or we could be like one of the college assigners here in Oklahoma City. Get a call about 1 in the morning. Got a big game for you. Big game. By the way, it's in Lubbock, Texas. 3 o'clock tomorrow, buddy. I'll be there, boss. I'll be there. Something that has been developed that I think is very important on varsity assignments, I'm going to do my best to have us do it on sub-varsity also. For those working varsity that postseason high school play is important to them, there's actually a big graph made, almost take something this big, that the schools across the top, your names are down the left-hand side, and it's actually documented on how many times you see each school. Here's why. If Trey gets 6 games, it'd be a whole lot better if he didn't see any school more than twice, versus of those 6 games, he sees Putnam North 4 of those 6 games. That's a no-win deal for us. We get enough trouble without seeing them over and over. Even if everything goes well, Trey might be the top of their list for postseason play. But for his sake, for postseason play, wouldn't it be better if he saw Putnam North twice, Mustang twice, UConn twice? Now, he's been in front of more coaches, and he has a bigger availability to be on the list for postseason play. So that's kind of why we do it. I mean, it's for your guys' sake, a little bit for the schools, but more for you all. We do not have a scratch list from coaches. That's our job. There was even a situation, I thought it was funny. 3 or 4 years ago, OU was in a bowl game, and they moved the start time up for this game. Game went into overtime. Coach was being a jerk. One official had already whacked him. There's 40-something seconds left. Coach smarts off to another official about, hey, you don't have to worry about getting out of here. I have a tape. You can come to my office and watch it. He got a second one. And as he was leaving, Coach tells the official, I'm calling Bodine. He said, you got 45 seconds to beat me to it. And I got a phone call from the dressing room. I did think it was funny. And, all of a sudden, now this coach wants me to come look at the film. I said, well, what are we going to look at? He just got upset that he was an idiot and he got tossed. I'm not going to go watch that film. That's bad. What waste of everybody's time. For our website, we use arbitersports.com. Same website that is used by the NCAA, the same website that is used for OSSAA as of this basketball season. Right, Sarge? Is that right? First time? Isn't that where you guys take your tests and all that? On the Arbiter? Okay. Here's something that's really slick about the Arbiter. If you work for like our site is teach, train, develop. That's what I think we're all about. It doesn't have anything about a conference or anybody's name. Can you pull that up, TC? On the Arbiter? If you work for 5 different like our group number is 105-301. You can work for 5 different groups. And what's great for the official is you can go in and check, see, okay. See all those different groups on the arbor. So you can actually go in and do each, you know, like availability for us, do that. Availability for the Kansas JUCO, do that separate. I mean, and they're not all tied together. And there's, well, the website for some of our Oklahoma JUCO and NAI stuff is tied together, and it's going to be tricky. I mean, ideally, it'd be nice if you could, if you already have a JUCO game, if you could close it to the JUCO conference. But on their side, if you close it, you're done for that deal. So, but the Arbor's really user-friendly, and if I can figure it out, you can too. See, here's the groups. So if those 3 are checked, then you go down here and you click on September 20th. It's going to close September 20th to everybody. So anyway, are you guys going to do the Arbor or the website stuff?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll shut up. Okay. Here's what we're looking for in officials for our staff. New officials. Well, and officials that are on staff. Make me believe you are right. What am I talking about? On the floor, make me believe you are right. Jeff? What am I talking about?
Right things on the floor first.
Right things on the floor, strong whistle, strong voice, yada, yada, yada. Does that make sense? Have a disciplined whistle. What does that mean? Patient whistle, slow whistle, all the same thing.
Consistency.
The consistency. See the entire play. Too many times we think we know what's going to happen, and that whistle's going off 2 seconds too soon. Now the lower the level, the quicker the whistle we need. The higher the level, 5A, 6A, girls and boys, be slower, JUCO slower, NBA, sometime next week it'll be fine. And I still can't figure out how they do it. How do you guys do that, Marcus?
I don't know.
Okay. I don't feel so bad then, Marcus doesn't know. Good stuff. And those of you that may not know Marcus, he is being on a rocket fast track. He has come through some of the teaching and training, played the game, understands the game, and he's had a very successful career at the highest level. Good stuff. Here's something that if you've been around very long, hopefully you've heard it and you understand it. We all need to understand rhythm,
RSBQ.
rhythm, speed, balance, quickness. Anybody want to attack that? Drake? So if we understand rhythm, speed, balance, quickness, that's going to help us make a quality call with a disciplined whistle, yada, yada. Okay? Communication is huge. What's that, third or fourth time we talked about it? Attitude and approachability, both on and off the floor. Preparation. Some of you all that took the summer off probably got passed up by somebody. Probably got passed up, bring it to work. Not November 1st. You're probably late. Preparation. Preparation mentally, physically, with rules knowledge, being a student of the game, camps, scrimmages, teaching. There's a whole lot of venues out there to get better. Here's a quote. When I first heard it, I thought it was crazy. But some of the best words of wisdom that could get you hired or fired, I think I've heard. We are paid for our judgment. Rules knowledge is expected. Communication skills are a must, in caps. Pay for your judgment. Rules knowledge is expected. Communication skills are a must. A few words of wisdom and I'll jump ship here. When we're officiating at any level, little junior jammers in Norman, NEI, national tournament, we are selling credibility and approachability. Everybody know who Big Steve Whaler is, NCAA men's official, worst mechanics on the planet. Worst mechanics, I don't even know if he has something called mechanic. But his communication skills, his approachability, his believability, the coaches think he's bigger than the game, in a good way. Here's another little 4-word liner for you. When we need a mentor, when we're trying to move up, trying to get hired, here's 4 things that are very important. Whether it be for your fellow officials or the coaches. They need to get to know you, like you, trust you, respect you. Kilter, K-L-T-R. First time I heard that was in a meeting. I thought the yahoo that said it was pretty much a yahoo. The more you think about it, the more sense it makes. Know, like, trust, respect. Will it be in the business world? Your neighbor, yeah. It makes a lot of sense. Know, like, trust, respect. Okay. Be ready when you get a chance. Pull some out of the water on this one. Be ready when you get a chance. But a chance does not mean that you have arrived. Like I mentioned, last year we had a couple instances where, weather, whatever, yada, yada, and the JV official had to jumped at the chance to stay and do the varsity fair. It's not a good situation. Sometimes it happens. Well, that's an opportunity, but just because you stumbled into that sucker does not mean that you are now on the varsity staff for anybody, I would think. What for you, Sarge? Sometimes being lucky is better than being good. And that's being pretty lucky. So, be ready for the chance. But something like that, chance does not mean that you've arrived. Be seen? A lot of ways to be seen. Camps, training, clinics, scrimmages. Scrimmages for our staff will be on the website. There will be a master list put together, which is a nightmare, from all 15 schools times 2 coaches. You do the math. What our goal is to have 2 scrimmages per coach on that master schedule. Sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. The things that we look at for the ones that go on that schedule, start times. If they have a 3 o'clock start time, their assistants need to get their tennis shoes on. We ain't coming. It's not fair to ask people to leave work at 2 o'clock, take half day to go to a scrimmage. Because the coach wants to start at 3 so he can be home by 5:30. They're not home at 5:30 in our season. So, assistant coaches, get ready to run. 4:30 starts is what we look for. Saturdays and or scrimmages where there's 3 teams. If there's 3 teams, we get more floor time. We like those. And it's funny, the last 2 years that we've started to do this, now coaches, put in North Boys coach, I won't say any names, he's changing his times. His 2 home scrimmages this year are at 4:30. He used to go at 2:30 and 3. I said, you ready to run? We're not going to be there. Not going. If you don't put yourself in position to move up, then don't complain when you don't. Pretty simple. It's pretty complex.